everyone. So I had a really cool thing happen to me today, and I want to share it with you guys. So I've had a lifelong dream of being a hand model. I know it's kind of a weird dream, but it's mine. And yesterday, my friend called and she was like, "Hey, we need a hand model for our commercial tomorrow. Would you be interested?" And I was like, yes. But I was very, very tired when she called me, so I just put it in my phone and I went to bed. And I woke up this morning and looked at my phone and it said, "The first thing you have on your schedule is a hand job at noon." I was like, that's not what I meant. We live weird lives here in Los Angeles. People in LA are just weird. They're weird. They eat weird things. They name their children weird things. I met this woman recently and she had this little daughter and I was like, "Man, your daughter is really cute. What's her name?" And she said, "Oh, this is Sparkle." And I was like, Sparkle, where'd you come up with that name? And she was like, "Well, you know, we didn't have a name picked out when she was born. And the doctor said she just really seemed to sparkle." And I was like, God, why couldn't that doctor have just been like, "She really seems to Jennifer. Got such an Angela in her eye, doesn't she?" LA. I actually received a flyer recently. It said, "Please present this at the front desk for your complimentary organic tan." I am so sorry, guys. An organic tan? Didn't that used to just be called going outside? So confused. So I'm not from LA, so all this is new to me. I'm from North Carolina. My whole family's still there, but my parents are there. My parents have been married for 39 years. It's a really long time, right? Actually, and it's even more surprising if you ever met my parents because they really could not be more different. My mom she's very quiet and she likes to read. You know, my father enjoys making bird noises, and his number one goal in life is to be black. I'm not kidding. He also just thinks that people should instinctively know this about him too. So he'll just walk up to groups full of large black men and be like, "Yo, what's up, brothers?" Oh, white people. Whew, they are boring, aren't they? Can't. Being his daughter is so awkward. My dad got his blood drawn recently too, and the doctor was really surprised when he told him that he was B positive. And my dad was like, "What? Why? You know, why is that surprising?" And he said, "Well, because most of the people that I treat with B positive blood are African American." Guys, that was the best day of his entire life. Still riding high off that. My dad, he's actually a really big fan of my boyfriend. You know, dads don't always like boyfriends, but my dad is obsessed with mine because my boyfriend is Dominican and he used to be a boxer. So I'm pretty sure somewhere in my dad's mind he thinks if I marry my boyfriend, he'll finally have a black professional athlete in the family. So he's pretty stoked about that. My boyfriend and I, we were friends for about 7 years before we ever started dating. And about 2 years ago, I sat in front of him and I was like, "Babe, I want to date you." And he said, "Oh, baby, that's so brave." I'm still not totally clear that we're together, but you know, it's okay. So my boyfriend and I, we have a little bit of a language barrier too, which I discovered when we first started dating. I called him up and I was like, "Hey babe, you wanna hang out tonight?" And he was like, Yeah, for sure, no doubt, we'll chop it up." And I was like, "I'm so sorry, we're gonna what now?" I had no idea what we were doing. I literally had to call my dad to translate. So speaking of language barriers, guys, when is the Valley Girl accent, when is that gonna be over? You know? I just can't stand it when girls talk like that. It really bothers me. And I've done some research on this for us. I've done some research. We're the only country that has to put up with this. You're not going to go to Russia and find it. You're not going to go to Mexico and find a little Mexican teenage girl saying, like, "Yo quiero más queso, por favor." It's not going to happen. Literally not going to happen. So I'm an actor in Los Angeles. I'm the only one. And like most actors in this town, I'm not famous. So when people meet me and they find out I'm an actor, they want me to prove it to them. I've got to give them like a verbal resume. They're like, oh really, you're an actor? What have you ever done? Anything I would have seen? And I'm like, did you catch much regional theater in North Carolina in 2003? But I actually always want to turn it around on them and be like, oh really, you're a real estate agent? What houses have you sold? Any I would have seen? Actually, I missed my opportunity big time. I was on a plane recently and a guy said that to me. He's like, oh, you're an actor? Have you done anything I would have seen? I mean, I don't watch movies, television, or commercials. And I was like, well, sir, that leaves porn. So no. So you guys know, as actors, like we have understudies, right? When we do plays, is a thing. I wanted to share something about my understudy with you guys tonight. She recently married my ex-fiance. They both took her job very seriously. I mean, to be fair, I did have to leave town, and I guess I wasn't totally clear exactly which parts of my life I needed her to take over. So now, if I go out to dinner and I have leftovers, I'll just box them up and send them to her with a nice note that says, yo, I'm done with this now too. You want to take it across the finish line? You guys have been incredible. Austin Highsmith.